Okay, I guess we're live, and I'm here. Ted is getting his tea. I guess you could say he's just teasing us. Okay, we'll start the show with George humor. Let's see. Big Sis wins again. Eleanor was first in. Right behind her was Nigel. Wins again. Right behind. Eleanor was first in. Right behind her was Nigel. There goes my phone again. Right. Okay. Renz was in the same minute as Nigel. And Crystal just came in. Hi, Crystal. Glad to have you here. And Brian came in right behind her. Of course, always good to have you, Brian. You're one of the mainstays. Well, you and Eleanor and Nigel, and now Renz. Hopefully, Crystal will become one of the regulars, too. So we're waiting for Mr. T in Texas. He's getting his tea. He's in charge of this stream, so he turned it on live and left me here so we could talk among ourselves. There he is. There's the star of the show.
Whoo! Sorry, I'm late, guys.
No, you got to do it. You got to do it. You got to do it the way Jimmy used to do. You go, woo!
Oh, the woo! What's this? So I have good light, which makes my MacBook camera look nice. But let's try my actual camera. Oh.
Oh no, let's not do that. Okay, that's good.
I'll just crank it up there. Crank it. There we go. Hey.
He's cranking it up, folks. Let's hope he doesn't get cranky. Eleanor's asking, what did you put in that tea, Ted?
The mic's back on.
Ooh, yeah, no. Hey, good evening, Renz and Eleanor. Who was at the top, George?
Eleanor was first, Nigel was second, Renz was third.
That's impressive considering I just put this thing up like, 30 minutes ago?
Well, Eleanor is big sis, so as long as Eleanor or Nigel are first, it's still in the family. Crystal came in and Brian came in.
Let me get up the stories.
So this is Ted's stream, so he's in charge. I'm just the side entertainment, I guess.
Yeah, I do prefer this one. Why are you so much money? Tell me.
Don't mind Ted. He's talking to his tech stuff. Yeah, this is tech good. Talk, so nice he can talk warm. To his tech.
And why you so much money? Did I justify your what?
Renz is saying sax music, please, Ted. Problem is, Renz, I'm the sax player. I played sax for like 50 years in bands, and I'm the one that has two saxes in the other room right now.
Ooh, but I do see a lot of noise in that MacBook camera. Yeah, I'm just you know me, guys. I get caught up on image quality, but let me get the show notes up. So it's been a pretty crazy week for everyone around. With the Sony announcement and the Fujifilm announcement, just lots and lots of stuff. And then, especially Wall Street, right? How was your week?
Well, yeah, my week has been fine.
Oh.
Now today I got up, it was 25. I rode my bicycle on Tuesday, and when I finished riding in the afternoon, it was 67 degrees. First time I wore shorts in 2 months. So. Weather is drastically going back and forth.
My high here was 57. Okay.
Well, you're in Texas. That makes sense.
Nah, it's not good enough. For 57 degrees Fahrenheit, I want more.
If you came east a little bit, if you just went eastbound and down, loaded up and trucked it.
Let me see if I can find you on a Google search, your website. Mobile Geezer.
I sent you the link for the.
Let's see.
I sent it to you back in the email that you sent.
Oh, look at that. You're the number one hit, George. Way to go.
Well, I am old. That makes sense.
Sharing the screen.
All right,
Brick City in NYC today. That's a nice limerick, Brian.
Oh yeah, that's
Felt like 18 degrees Fahrenheit. Ooh, makes me happy about my 58 degrees.
that's normal for New York this time of year.
Yes.
Eleanor and I are from right across the river, so we always have the same weather that New York City has.
Let me put that away. What did I put in that tea? Eleanor, this is English breakfast.
You lived in England before you lived here, didn't you?
Yes, I did. But I wanted, English breakfast, just the tea unadulterated. It goes great with this red velvet cake.
He's making you hungry, folks. All I have is my Minute Maid lemonade. Yeah, I sound like a rapper, don't I? Minute Maid lemonade. Okay. Don't mess with me. Don't throw no shade. Okay.
See, I just got your email. So
you just got it? I sent it like 45 minutes ago.
Yeah. I actually just, I was kind of struck in traffic unexpectedly. Getting this cake, and I stopped at Best Buy, and I got to see that Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra.
This one?
That very one. I can see why they kept going on about that black color.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's kind of spiffy, yeah.
It is beautiful. And
never mind, the iPhone 7 did it first at a cheaper rate. But
a bunch of the sites are saying not only is this the best Samsung ever made, they're also saying this is the best camera Samsung ever made. So I can't wait for the weekend so I can go out and do some testing. And for the first time ever, I did not get to take the first picture with my own phone. I took it to work. One of the younger guys grabbed it. He was looking at it, and he took a picture of my boss. So he got the first picture, and she's in the first picture on my phone.
You didn't post that one. Oh, but you want some sax music, Reds.
And Nigel has a brand new. Nigel has a new.
Sorry.
Okay.
Nigel.
The sax music station on YouTube Music.
Who could have
froze up?
Oh, I thought you froze up.
No, I can still see me moving. Anyway, Nigel has a new Galaxy Fold.
Really?
Yes.
Is that so, Nigel? The Z Fold 2?
Yeah.
Okay, George, you froze right now. You're lagging.
I can see from my point of view, you're frozen.
All
right, folks, tell us who's frozen.
Yeah, guys, put it in the comments who's freezing, me or George.
Because he's seeing me frozen, I'm seeing him frozen.
All right. Can you take over the first story, George?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, first story is about Alphabet shutting down Loon. So, wait a minute, let me get this. Okay. Alphabet shuts down Loon Internet Balloon Company. Yeah, I read this a bunch of places yesterday. Google's parent firm Alphabet is done exploring the idea of using a fleet of balloons to beam high-speed internet in remote parts of the world. The firm said on Thursday evening it was winding down Loon, a 9-year-old project and 2.5-year-old spin-off firm, after failing to find a sustainable business model and partners for prominent moonshots products. It's not showing the article. I have it on my screen, but you didn't pull it up on your screen.
No? Oh no.
No. But if you just turn off yours, if you just, allow mine because mine is sharing, and then I can follow it with the cursor. All right, you got it there. All right. All right, continuing. The demise of Loon, which assumed the spotlight after the project helped restore cell services knocked out by hurricane in Puerto Rico, comes a year after the Android maker ended Google Station, its other major connectivity effort to bring internet to the next billion users. Through Station, Google provided connectivity at over 400 railway stations in India and sought to replicate the model in other public places in more nations. That said, Alphabet's move today is still surprising. Just last year, Loon had secured approval for the government of Kenya to launch balloons to provide commercial connectivity services, something it did successfully achieve months later, giving an impression that things were moving in the right direction. I remember that when they did that with Kenya, but Loon was going to continue on. Loon, which raised $125 million from a SoftBank unit in 2019, has long stated its mission as Loon is focused on bringing connectivity to unserved and underserved communities around the world. We're in discussions with the telecommunications companies and governments worldwide to provide a solution to help extend internet connectivity to these underserved areas. Perhaps the growing interest of SpaceX and Amazon in this space influenced Alphabet's decision. If not, the two firms are also going to have to confront some difficult feasibility questions in the future. We talk a lot about connecting the next billion users, but the reality is Loon has long been chasing the hardest problem of all in connectivity. The last billion users, wrote Alistair Westgarth, chief executive of Loon, in a blog post. The communities and areas too difficult or remote to reach, or the areas where delivering service with existing technologies is just too expensive for everyday people. While we found a number of willing partners along the way, we haven't found a way to get the cost low enough to build a long-term sustainable business. Developing radical new technology is inherently risky, but that doesn't make breaking this news any easier. The blog post characterized Loon's connectivity effort as a success. How can you shut down something and call it a success? Okay. The Loon team is proud to catalyze an ecosystem of organizations working on providing connectivity from the stratosphere. The world needs a layered approach to connectivity, terrestrial, stratospheric, and space-based, because each layer is suited to different parts of the problem. In this area, Loon has made a number of important technical contributions, wrote Westgarth. What happens next? In a separate blog post, the firm said it had pledged a fund of $10 million to support nonprofits and businesses focused on connectivity, internet, entrepreneurship, and education in Kenya. So they seem to be sticking with Kenya. Alphabet also plans to take Loon's technology forward and share what it learned from this moonshot idea with others. Additionally, some of Loon's technology, like the high bandwidth 20 gigabits links that were first used to beam a connection between balloons bopping in the stratosphere, already lives in Project Hara. This team is currently working with partners in sub-Saharan Africa to bring affordable, high-speed internet to unconnected and underconnected communities starting in Kenya, the firm said. Scores of firms, including Google, Facebook, have visibly scaled down several of their connectivity efforts in recent years as the many developing nations, such as India, that they target solve the internet problems on their own. It has also become clear that subsidizing internet access to hundreds of millions of potential users is perhaps not the most sustainable way to acquire customers.
Yeah. I thought it was an
So,
about
yeah, I
customers.
thought when they made that deal with Kenya 2 years ago, I thought in SoftBank, I thought they were going to stick around. It's just Google being Google.
It's just Google being Google. Ah, damn this.
Look at that. You're teasing people with the cake. Eleanor said, don't show it if you're not going to share it.
By the way, Renz,
And
by the way, Ren said it was you, by the way. That was glitching.
Okay, he's saying it was me. Okay. All right.
By the way, Renz, can you hear the sax?
I don't think there's anything I can do about it, but it stopped, hopefully, so I think we're good. I think we should let me do the sharing like usual, and then when I share it, you allow it, because that way I can follow it with the cursor.
Sure.
I've already turned my off. You're still sharing screen, by the way.
I know, man. I was just showing you how I can enlarge the text. Not appreciative
you can?
of my art.
Something I must learn one day.
Let's see, the next story.
That sounds like, who is that? Oh, I know that sax. Eleanor, you know that sax too. David Sanborn. Sounds like David Sanborn. It's got to be David Sanborn. All right, next story. Okay, pulling it up now. And don't forget, folks, you can go to mobilegeezer.wordpress.com, first story, and you can
actually I'll show this
along with here. I'm pulling mine up. My internet seems slow today. I don't know why.
Yeah, I already got it up, George. It's all right.
But it is Comcast, which I have no control over since my landlord uses Comcast. Why, I don't know. I don't know why anybody would use Comcast.
I'm glad you like it. I don't often listen to sax optimization. All right, so next story. Whew.
Right,
again, in this crazy week between Sony, Fujifilm, we also had OnePlus making a whole lot of noise about... Come on, George, pick it up. Making a whole lot of noise about... George,
OnePlus making a whole lot of noise about what?
Nothing!
No, I know about Carl.
Oh my gosh, you ruined it.
No. But see, you're saying OnePlus. That's not OnePlus. That's Carl Pei.
Yeah, you're right. My bad. OnePlus co-founder Carl Pei's next company is literally called nothing. Let's see. Carl Pei, the OnePlus co-founder who parted ways with the company last year, felt like 6 months ago, right? Less than 6 months? Has announced the name of his next venture, Nothing. It describes itself as a London-based consumer technology company and counts the likes of iPod inventor Tony Fadell, Twitch co-founder Kevin Lin, Reddit CEO Steve Huffman, and YouTuber Casey Neistat as investors. It plans to release its first smart devices in the first half of the year. So I thought this guy was releasing audio products, not smart devices.
Am I what?
Anyway, Nothing's mission is... Nothing's mission is to remove barriers between people and technologies to create a seamless digital future, says Pi, Nothing's founder and CEO, in a press release. When we believe that the best technology is beautiful yet natural and intuitive to use, when it's sufficiently advanced, it should fade into the background and feel like nothing.
Yeah.
What's unclear at the moment is what products Nothing plans to release. In an interview with The Verge ahead of today's announcement, Pi declined to offer specific details on what form Nothing's first smart devices will take. He also declined to say which companies Nothing plans to compete with. Pi does confirm, however, that Nothing plans to release products across multiple categories with the eventual aim of building up an ecosystem of devices. Right now, the team is being built, so we want to focus on simpler categories. But as our team gains capabilities and skills, we want to start moving up. The ultimate vision of having everything connected in a seamless way that can only happen when you have multiple categories of products that are connected. Let me say that sentence again because it didn't seem right. The ultimate vision of having everything connected in a seamless way that can only happen when you have multiple categories of products that are connected.
Oh, and I realized the freezing is coming from you because I'm not broadcasting. This is on your internet.
So what can I do?
Nothing that I know of. When it happens here, there's nothing I can do but wait it out.
Oh, sorry, George. During Pi's tenure at OnePlus, the company released... Let me turn this down. That's way too much sax.
You going to go down, or we?
Yeah, I'm already down.
You don't have my version. You don't have my screen share pulled up. You have yours pulled up, so I can't follow it with the cursor.
Well, yeah, we're still reading the bit. During Pi's tenure at OnePlus, the company released everything from smartphones, headphones, and even TVs. I never saw those TVs. I guess that was only for India.
I know.
Wired reported that Pi's new company could focus on music and might include manufacturing headphones. When asked, Pi declined to confirm whether... I kind of want to skip the story now. Like, we're talking about a company, but we don't know what their products are going to be. That's just wild.
I find it very strange that he's not even hinting at what kind of products they're going to make.
I find it even weirder that he has Casey Neistat on the board. So far, the last two ventures that Casey Neistat's been on the board have failed. While there's speculation that this could point toward Nothing developing a accompanying music service, Pi tells The Verge that Nothing plans to make most of its money by selling hardware rather than software subscriptions, at least initially. We haven't spent too much time thinking about the software portion of it. It definitely needs to be a good user experience if you're to generate revenue from software. In the long term, however, he admits that a healthy business requires both good hardware and good software. Well, at least he knows that. Pi's new company plans to differentiate itself by using custom-made components in its products from the start. Okay. Pi suggests that this will stop Nothing's products from looking too much like its competitors. There's a reason.
I'm sorry. As soon as you read that sentence, I'm thinking they're going to stop at nothing.
There's a reason why a lot of products look quite similar, Pi observes. It's because they share a lot of the same components and the same building blocks. Oh, look at that. I would have thought it was because, people like to copy the biggest, name on the block, vis-a-vis Samsung and iPhones. But yeah. In contrast, OnePlus phones have faced frequent criticisms over the years for similarities they shared with Oppo's phones. In a recent video,
what a surprise.
Marques Brownlee outlined a series of Oppo and OnePlus devices with strikingly similar hardware like the OnePlus 5, the Oppo 11. Yeah, I'm going to skip over that. We already know this.
Okay.
While OnePlus and Oppo are reportedly to exist under the same Chinese corporate giant, BBK Electronics, Pi says Nothing is unencumbered by such an arrangement. Nothing is a completely independent company, but owned by our founding team and investors, says Pi, with its own R&D department. And despite using contract manufacturers to build its devices, Pi says Nothing won't just relabel somebody else's products. But while Pi hopes Nothing's early products will feature differentiated designs without feeling different for the sake of being different, the eventual hope is for them to fade into the background. I kind of envision a grass field with people having a picnic. There's no screen, there's no laptop, and there's no phone screen. There's no smart screen. There's no billboard screen. That's the kind of end state. So is Nothing going to supply the blanket for this picnic, or they're just a picnic basket?
Hey, it's a strange analogy to me. Okay, I've got the company theme song, right?
What is it?
It's got to be nothing from nothing leaves nothing. You got to have something. if you want to be with me. So don't you find it strange that he won't even give an idea what they're coming out with?
I guess he's building hype. Let's
That's
see.
a very strange.
Verge columnist Walt Mossberg referred to this future state as ambient computing in 2017. Pi admits that it may take 20 to 30 years to revise, but says the future his company is aiming for is one where technology resembles nothing.
Okay. Hey, Gary.
Both like,
welcome, Gary. Good to have you here. We didn't have our resident troublemaker. All right. Now, are you going to let me share the screen so I can follow with the cursor?
All right. If you must.
And I'm pulling up the next one.
No, George wants to share this one, guys. Meanwhile, we have Renz. They're coming up with nothing.
Right now, I'm going to share screen. Oh, and now it's not showing. What happened?
Yeah, Gary came at the right time.
And when I go to share screen, it's not showing it now. I don't get it. Oh, I know. Wait a minute. Give me a second. No, I don't know. Oh, they know. All right, I guess you're going to have to do the screen sharing because somehow it's not showing right over here the way it usually does.
If only there was a way I could warm up, change the color temperature of my camera, but it's just, I'd have to get up and do it. External controls or something. Renzi's is like, I just licked the bowl. See, the thing
all right, I've got it.
Is that they have a terrible. Okay. He came through, guys. See, just be patient. And the old man will get to it.
I think I've got it. Is it showing?
Oh yeah, it is.
Okay, got it. Okay, there we go. All right. Again, we're on The Verge. And this one's about the MacBook Pros. Apple's 2021 MacBook Pros will reportedly bring back the SD card slot. An end to dongle hell? Apple may finally be bringing an integrated SD card slot to its upcoming 2021 models of its MacBook Pro laptops, according to a new report from Bloomberg's Mark Gurman. A move that will restore the popular port standard to the company's computers. The MacBook Pro lineup hasn't offered an SD card slot since Apple removed the feature in its 2016 redesign, which excised all the ports from the laptops in favor of 4 universal USB-C ports. This forced many professional users who rely on the popular memory card format to import photos and videos to their computers for editing, that's what I do, to turn to much rival dongles to get the same functionality. The news comes after an earlier report from Gurman that originally detailed some of the changes that Apple was planning for the upcoming 14-inch and 16-inch. Changes include removing of the controversial touch bar interface in exchange for physical function keys, offering a more squared-off design that's in line with the recent iPad Pro, iPad Air, and iPhone 12 lineups, adding brighter displays and bringing back Apple's magnetic MagSafe chargers. That's all in addition to the biggest change, which will see the high-end laptops move from Intel's processors to a more powerful version of Apple's in-house ARM-based M1 chipset. Noted Apple analyst Ming-Chi Kuo corroborated these reports by claiming that the new laptops would offer additional ports, but today marks the first confirmation of the SD card slot specifically. The news of the SD card slot's return actually comes as an aside in a larger report on Apple's planned refresh for a high-end MacBook Air model, which is said to offer similar MagSafe and processor benefits as the new MacBook Pros. Unfortunately, though, there's no mention of the SD card slot being offered on the upcoming Air refresh, just a pair of USB-C ports. Sounds kind of contradictory to me. So what do you think? You think they're going to put the SD card slots in there or not?
I don't want to get my hopes up, but I really...
They're talking about your spoon, brother.
Let's see. Kick from Studio.
Okay. Oh, Gary.
Yeah, Cam, there we go.
Wait, my screen share. Okay, stop screen. Okay.
You know, I really hope, I would love it that they do.
21 Ultra.
Gary's like, is a SD card still needed? Well, yes. If you do anything that uses an SD card, then yes. If you're about that life, you should seriously with your camera, then yes. If you even have a camera, Gary,
I agree with what the article said. I take my SD card slot and I stick it in my computer to do my editing the same way they do. So I think it makes it easier to put stuff on your computer and edit stuff. That's how I do everything.
Yeah, Gary likes the phone.
Yeah. So this weekend I'll be taking it out for its first trial run and see how things go. Don't know how cold it's going to be here though.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, sorry, paused it. But yeah, with how would it make my life easier? Like the SD card slots, the reason why I still kept this 2015 MacBook Pro that I'm using right now. I use it. I mean, I use an SD card every chance I get, and to not have to carry a dongle, that would be pretty awesome. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think all of us that use something else to film and stuff, when we come back to our computer, it just makes it easier to have. Every video that I make in the house, that's what I do. I film it on my camera. I stick the card into the computer and copy and do my editing. You know. Now the cloud is not better, I don't think. Anyway, what do you think?
Well, the cloud is going to start costing now with the Google Photos.
Oh yeah, and everybody's going to start charging you for that.
Yeah. Hold on, what's this? Google's just started playing some copyrighted music, Nina Simone. I was like, oh no, not that.
That's not good.
It's good, but it's not good for here.
It's not good.
But yeah, if I could just do, but it's just like one less thing to carry. That would be just clutch. Would I get it though? Like if I traded my MacBook, I'm guessing the 14-inch MacBook is probably gonna be $2,000.
That sounds about right to me. So you can buy me one because I'm not buying one.
So I'll trade in this MacBook.
I've got the screen shared for the next story.
No, I'll just use my own screen for that one.
Okay. But don't forget to allow mine to show so I can follow.
Let's see. Let me just see if I can zoom it. There we go. Nice and big. And then I just share the screen.
Oh, so you're going to use yours? Okay.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Well, then you need to follow it with the cursor like I do.
I mean, do I? I mean, I thought if I make it big enough, you guys can see the words, no?
I just think it's easier with the cursor. That's just me. Like the old days in the movies when you're bouncing ball. Yeah.
All right, I'll let you do it then.
All right.
Boom. There you go.
Okay, there we go. All right, but still you're reading. So. Are we on the verge again? No, this is digital camera world. Okay.
Yep. Oh no, hold on. But back to our previous story. Gary's talking about he just uses a hub. So, what do you use the hub on, Gary? I'm curious.
But Gary, if you're filming with something else like a camera, like outside, oh, I guess you plug the camera into the hub and do it that way.
Yeah, well, Gary just remembers to bring the hub.
Okay.
And if everything was to go wrong, like, oh, if something was to go wrong, and he has to diagnose, like, is it his computer? Is it his hub? Or is it the SD card? He has to just do some quick mental gymnastics to figure that out.
I guess I'm just used to my old way. Plus, I've got a hub right here on this computer with 8 things plugged in, but I do have a hub that I use for my my iPad. All right, whenever you're ready.
Oh, hold on. What's this? Is the cloud better? Oh, okay. Gary responded.
I don't think so. That's just me.
Plug the camera to the hub with the laptop.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, I just find using an SD card easier than that. That's just me, though.
You know, I realize that people don't actually they actually don't plug the camera straight to the laptop unless they're actually shooting tethered.
Right.
You know, where they're actually just shooting an image and the image goes directly to their computer for it to be viewed. But otherwise, I don't see people plug their camera into the laptop just to go over the camera files like they would do with their phone.
Well, I guess he's saying he plugs the camera in and then just pulls whatever video or pictures he shot right off the camera.
And he doesn't ever take out the SD card. Well, that's a good. What camera do you have, Gary? Oh, and Renz is saying, oh my God, let's just show us what Renz is talking about.
Now, Renz is saying he uses the cloud. Okay. Most of his phones don't have SD card slots. Yeah, I use the SD card with my camera in here, but you're right about the phones not having SD card slots generally in it anyway. And I'm not going to take my SD card out of my phone when I want to copy something. Plug it in.
Let's see. Actually, George, could you take down the story? I forgot there was there's actually a secret story that I wanted to share. I had to keep
okay, go ahead.
That's okay. Gary's got.
Now you're keeping secrets from the old man. I got it. Okay. Okay. Gary says he uses the Sony A71. Okay, A72. Sorry.
Okay, where are you? Where is the story? I hid it too good for myself even. Oh, there it is.
So it's a secret story that you hid from yourself?
That's how you got to keep things secret, George. The left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. But now my PC's acting slow. All right.
Good record about a story here. The spy who couldn't find his secrets.
I'm curious, George. What port does your A7 II have? Does it have the USB-C port? That'd be incredible. Or
I don't have an A7 II, so I have no clue.
Yeah.
I have a very old.
Because the A7, I know the A7 III has a USB port, so it makes sense to have a USB-C port and just come to plug them easy.
This sounds like the A7 II might have the same thing.
Now
you see Renz's next comment?
About cameras, Will always use the SD card no matter what. Before carrying on 4 to 6 cards in the shoot, now I just have to work behind the desk. No more field work. Oh, he's happy.
Oh, okay.
And then Brian's like, he ends up just using a USB-C flash drive. No hubs.
Yeah, and when I'm putting stuff on my iPad, I use the same thing.
All right. And he's also talking about, I guess Brian is talking about, Apple not going USB-C on their phones and the rest of their iPads.
Yeah.
All right. Let's take a look at this magic trick. I am going to...
So how do you make it larger?
Get boom. Yes.
I don't know how to do that.
It's on Safari. You get rid of all that fluff.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
and you put it in reader mode. So Google okay, so I guess we need some backstory about why this story is important. George, you want to fill in the crowd about the whole what was it? The whole market short, the short sale of GameStop.
Oh, you mean the GameStop? Yeah. I just heard a little bit about it. I've been working for 3 days, but I gather they were selling GameStop short, thinking that GameStop was about to go out of business, and they were going to drive them out of business by everybody selling short and pushing the price down and down and down. And I guess that usually works, and the next thing you know, the company's out of business. But in this case, regular people, I get it, people just like you and me, started buying the stock.
Redditors.
Well,
there are people on Reddit.
Yeah, Reddit. Yeah, Reddit users. Reddit's the one who put this out there, and people started buying it. Well, the big, what do you call the big stock companies? The big guys who started this, trying to sell them short and drive them out of business, because what they do is they sell short, the stock goes down, and then the same company buys it back because now it's cheaper. So they made money on the deal. But if the price starts going up, well, they start losing money on a deal. Well, so far, I gather some of the big shots in Wall Street have lost billions, and I heard like $70 billion, because, and now the news media, of course, they always take their side. They want the normal everyday people to stop buying the stock and let it go down, and the normal everyday people are saying, oh no, we're not either. We're not saving those big shot companies, so they're losing a lot of money real fast. This is all in like 2 days. It's like 70 billion out the window. So their scheme backfired on them.
Yep, that is, yep. Nicely stated, George. Nicely explained.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I used to work on Wall Street. When I was at Payne Weber, I would see some of this firsthand, but I wasn't dumb enough to jump into it.
Yeah. Funny enough, though, to the hedge fund, I think it was Melvin or whatever, Melvin Financials or
Melvin
the hedge funds.
That's what I was trying to think of. The hedge funds are getting killed.
So yeah, they wanted to short sell. They did short sell GameStop, but in order to multiply just how much return they would have got short selling, you can actually do this thing where you can short sell, multiply your short sell, where you basically short sell more shares than a company owns.
Yes,
so,
and that's exactly what they did. I heard that too. Yeah, there was way more shares out there than there were shares available.
Yeah,
so that really hurt the hedge funds.
Yeah, so if a company has 100 shares, technically you can only buy 100 cells, but when you're short sell, you can short sell all those 100 cells and then do a multiplier. Just say all right, let's say we're going to borrow three times even more shares than the company even owns. Crazy. And in order to multiply this effect, they even took out money from loans and stuff from other businesses, other traders, money that they don't have to short sell. So it's crazy.
Yeah, but see, the hedge funds have been borrowing money from the banks, which is normal for them. Well, now the banks are losing money too, and they don't like this.
But yeah, the whole thing is just basically a company can just basically buy stuff that technically doesn't exist with money that they really don't own, and then you
can do that unless somebody says, "Okay, stocks in my hand." Well, then you got to come up with it, because to the people you sold to, they don't exist.
And people have problems with prostitution.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's all this is. That's all this is.
I mean, at least prostitution, there's honesty involved. There's something straightforward,
Oh,
like
that's true.
this is it's. See, anyway,
having worked at Citibank and Payne Webber on Wall Street, I learned stay the heck out of the stock market.
But anyway, people, the Redditors were basically using Robinhood, which is an app that lets you don't have to be a financial trader to trade stocks. You can be an everyday person, and you can actually use financial trader tools like buying on calls, sell shorting at a specific price.
Right.
Robinhood allows you to do all that.
Yeah.
Until, was it yesterday or 2 days ago? I think it was yesterday. Robinhood would stop people from trading.
Oh, yes, I did hear that. Yeah, they stopped it yesterday. So that's telling you that Robinhood is trying to save the big shot hedge funds.
Exactly. Robinhood would only let you sell or close your position. They wouldn't let you buy anymore.
Exactly.
And because of that, it wasn't just Robinhood too. There was also TD Ameritrade, I believe. And because of that, the GameStop stock did fall down from $350 to like $150.
Right, but it was still above where it started, right? I guess
a whole lot. Yeah, GameStop started at $4, so yeah, it's still a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
So because of this action, believe it or not, we have a lot of people from both aisles of Congress: Republicans, conservatives, Democrats. They all are looking at Robinhood for, answers like, this for market manipulation.
Yeah, of course they are, because they were trying to save the hedge funds.
Yep.
But you know what's going to happen, don't you? Some of those hedge funds are going to go to those crooked Democrats and Republicans and offer them a lot of money, and they'll take all the heat off. I guarantee it.
Anyway, also, this is where it bleeds into tech, ladies and gentlemen. Robinhood, the app, they offer service as a software. Because of this, people were not happy with Robinhood at all, so they all let their opinions know on the App Store, Google Play Store. So,
and on Reddit too, I would assume.
Well, no, but it's an app. Robinhood is an app. So people are leaving negative reviews on, the Play Store and the App Store. And, this is not like, where people are like leaving their political views or whatever. It's a genuine thing you don't like about that service, which should be what the Play Store is about. And here's what happened. Google salvaged Robinhood's 1-star rating by deleting nearly 100,000 negative reviews.
So that is so low.
Now, Google is actively removing negative reviews of the Robinhood app from the Google Play Store, the company confirmed to The Verge, after some disgruntled disgruntled Robinhood users organized campaigns to give the star a 1-star review on the Google Play Store and Apple App Store, and succeeded in review bombing it all the way down to a 1-star rating. The company has now deleted enough reviews to bring it up to nearly 4 stars. Robinhood came under intense scrutiny on Thursday after the stock trading app announced it would block purchase of GameStop, AMC, and other stocks. Made popular by the r Wall Street Bets subreddit, and some users have already replaced their deleted 1-star reviews with new ones to make their anger heard. Here's a screenshot of the Play Store captured by 9 to 5 Google. We see 274,000 reviews, 1-star rating, and then afterwards, oh my gosh, back to 4 stars with only 180,000 reviews.
Right. So you're defeating the whole purpose of reviews, because reviews are supposed to be giving you an idea of what people think of a product. Well, now you're removing what people think of the product.
Exactly. I mean, Google does have, the Play Store does have a policy where, you're not allowed to try to manipulate, a product's, star rating. But,
unless you're Google, then you can manipulate all you want, I gather.
Yeah, I gather. But in this particular case, where there's actual general grievance with the product,
so that's what those reviews are very honest.
Yeah, especially like if Ted Cruz and AOC, Ocasio-Cortez can get on the same page, maybe Robinhood is to blame and all this. And the reviews.
Those two aren't going to get together very often. So yeah.
So it says right here, Google's policies explicitly prohibit reviews intended to manipulate an app's rating, and the company says it has a system that it combines human intelligence with machine learning to detect and enforce policy violations in ratings and reviews. Google says it specifically took action on reviews that it felt violated these policies.
Yeah, right. Come on.
Yeah. Okay. If it was just like a simple 1-star rating, like with no text, I would maybe understand. Maybe the machine learning algorithm couldn't tell the difference. But if they put text in there, like fuck this company, like blah blah blah, like they don't do what they said they were going to do, they don't let us trade, then I'm gonna say BS on that.
But you know how Google's acting now. In this case, they're acting just like a politician. That's all they're doing.
Let's see. On Apple's App Store, Robinhood has a 4.7 rating, and we didn't see any reviewers newer than Wednesday. However, popular apps like TikTok, Uno, Genshin Impact also didn't have any reviews from later than Wednesday when we checked.
Which tells you Apple removed them. That's all that says to me.
Unhappy Robinhood users aren't just using reviews to show their ire. They're also calling for a class action lawsuit. Later on Thursday, Robinhood said it will allow limited buys of certain stocks on Friday. The company said that halting purchases on Thursday was a risk management decision. For whom?
For the big hedge funds, that's for whom. And for the banks. And you know me, I'm all for capitalism, but if you're going to screw people, then when they come back and win, that's on you.
So that's actually funny. Yeah, it was funny actually. Yesterday I was so close to buying. No, 2 days ago, last night, I was gonna buy AMC at $20, and then I decided against it. And then, lucky me, it actually did go down by $11. So I was like, oh, I dodged that bullet.
Yeah. So did you buy it after it went down?
Nope.
Okay.
It's actually funny because if there's actually any stock that I would buy, it probably is AMC, because I do feel like, once the pandemic is over, we're gonna want to go up. We're gonna want to go some places.
But the hedge funds are trying to drive them out of business.
Like it's a shame this whole thing is revolving around GameStop. Like, that business is a sinking ship. If it was revolving around AMC, which they have a chance, then I'm just like, all right, this is a good thing. But
right now, you'd have to say AMC is a sinking ship too, because as long as the pandemics exist, none of these movie companies are going to make any money. They can't.
Yeah, but I don't predict the pandemic is going to be around for forever.
I think it'll be around long enough to put all these companies out of business. I guarantee you that.
I think AMC can survive. I think AMC can survive until next year, and then by where most of us will be vaccinated.
You think this is going to be gone next year? Not a chance.
I think a majority of us will be vaccinated by next year.
And do you know what's the largest group in the world and in the country refusing the vaccination?
Who?
First responders. In Ohio, 40% of the first responders want no part of the vaccination. In Colorado, 60% of the first responders want no part of the vaccination. That tells me something. These are the people who deal with COVID on a daily basis, and they're not taking it. Will had 40-some people in his facility a couple of months ago that had COVID. Will said he's not taking that vaccine. That says a lot to me.
What? Yeah, I'll take Will's place.
Well, you can, but and keep in mind a couple of things. Somebody pointed out the other day that when the president was signing some of his executive orders, he has had the first shot and he's had the second shot, and he's still wearing a mask. What's the point of getting the shots? And all the doctors seem to agree. Once you get both shots, will it stop you from spreading the virus? Well, they're saying no, it probably won't. Will it stop you from getting the virus? They're saying no, it probably won't. I'm trying to find any point to having it at all. I don't find it.
Well, no. Well, you have to wear the mask because everybody's saying, you got to have a mask to go
But
anywhere.
they're saying you
they
still
don't
can
care for that
transmit
vaccine.
and receive the virus after you get the shots. So
Yeah,
what's
but
the point?
there's a 10% chance you'll get it.
I didn't hear that. Every
The virus
doctor
is 90% effective.
and you buy that.
Yeah,
Who's saying it's 90% effective? Oh, the people who made it and want to make billions of dollars. That's who's telling you it's 90% effective. We just found out what Wall Street does. They're on Wall Street too. The people who are telling you it's 90% effective. That's my point.
Gary's
And
like,
have
just stay home.
And have you checked the number of people that have died worldwide just from the shot already? Last week there were 55 people already who had died from the shot. In the world, not in one country.
Renz is like 10% is still too high. Maybe. Yeah, maybe it is.
This is the kind of thing where I'm glad I have the strongest immune system of anybody I know, because you could throw this stuff in my face all day. I'm not going to catch COVID. I picked up a nurse yesterday when I was at work. Usually we just deliver cars to Enterprise, different locations, but we were there, and he said, "Could you take this lady home?" Well, I took the lady home. She lived way back in the woods. So I'm talking to her for about 20 minutes. Well, it turns out she's a nurse. Last February, she caught the COVID, and she did her 2 weeks, and she was fine. This January, she had the first shot, and she caught the COVID again this month. Matter of fact, when I was taking her back, she had just come back to work after her second 2 weeks after having the COVID the second time after having the first shot. So all of this adds up to me to I'm not getting any shot. I don't need any shot, but I don't see the point. I can see somebody really old with all kinds of health problems wanting it. It's just not me, though. Matter of fact, the girl that Eleanor got it from at work was 30 years old, and she was a lot worse than Eleanor. Can't hear you talking anymore.
Check out
I was talking to this thing.
Okay, yeah, now we can. It turns out that the 30-year-old girl that Eleanor works with got it a whole lot worse than Eleanor, even though she gave it to Eleanor.
Gary's like, George, you came from the generation that ate stone stew.
No, Gary, because everybody my age that I know is nowhere near as good at pushing things off than me. They just don't take care of themselves. If you have obesity, if you have cholesterol issues, you have a real good shot at getting COVID. I have zero of any of that. So, Gary, don't compare the rest of my generation with me, because they are just as lazy about taking care of themselves as the vast majority of Westerners, and they pay the price. That's why I always say, some guy dies in his 70s, and people say, well, he died of old age. No, he didn't. He died of laziness. That's all he died from. And that's just a fact, because he ends up having all kinds of heart issues and blood pressure issues. And, well, whose fault is that? Oh, it's your own fault for not doing anything to help your body. Oh, okay. Don't tell me you died of old age in your 70s. People don't die of old age in their 70s. They die of laziness, period.
Yeah, they need to pick their age up by their bootstraps and just...
Well, you got to do exercise and never stop and eat right. You're never going to have that crap. I go to the doctor's like, you don't take any prescription drugs? No, because I don't need to. Gee, what a surprise. Anybody can do it, but everybody else is too lazy to do it. Well, no, my generation is nothing like me, I guarantee you. I mean, I know a few. I know a couple of 78-year-olds who are in great shape, But for every one of those that I know hundreds who are the opposite. And those are the people who are going to get COVID.
Hey, Big House, how's it going? Welcome
Big
to
House,
the stream.
so don't mind me, I'm ranting and raving.
Yeah, you just.
But I think it's good, Ted, that you came up with that story because we've had 2 weeks in a row showing, the old guy that went out last week with the FCC, and then you got 2 weeks in a row of these fat cats trying to screw everybody. And it doesn't seem to matter what party they're from. When AOC, like you said, when AOC and 10 Cruz are agreeing, something's up.
Yep. Let's see, George. Oh. All right.
I just have no reason to fear it, Brian, because I'm in the kind of shape that I'm not going to catch COVID. I don't care what you do. I am not going to catch it. So I have no need to take any inoculation. And it's very telling to me that Will and a lot of people who do the kind of stuff that they do, taking care of these COVID patients, are not taking the shot.
Yeah, that's a good point. My friend knows a woman who works at a hospital, and she didn't take the vaccine either.
Exactly.
And she's actually out, like going out on dates and stuff, like with just a mask, and she didn't want the vaccine. I was just like, let me just let it be me. Why can't I?
I go out to restaurants every week with Eleanor. Nothing happens to me.
Sorry, this camera's just. So, back to the speaking of camera. Yeah,
Okay,
Big House. You and me, Big House. We want our shot. We want our shot.
You can have it.
Oh, what do we have here?
The question you should ask is, do you need the shot? If you have comorbidities, you probably do. I have zero.
I want to go out places, so I need the shot.
I go out places every single week.
Well,
I go to restaurants every week.
Apparently, George, I don't have your immune system. I'm not cycling.
I think very few people do have my immune system, but anybody could have my immune system. They just have to work at it. That's all. I've been working at it for 38 years. There's nothing special about George, except George is not as lazy as the vast majority of Americans. Oh, the star of the show is here.
Oh, stop.
You missed all the action, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Hey.
Big House, and Mike, I want you to. There you go.
Yeah, I saw. I saw. Yeah.
My first day with it.
Okay.
And I was telling Ted, I went to work with it today. One of the young guys grabs it to me. This is the first time I didn't get to take the first picture with my own phone. He took the first picture of my boss.
Yeah. Of your boss. So not even you, huh? Not even you. Yeah. Let me take a picture of you, huh?
That's a good one. Should have been you, George.
Well, hello everybody. I just listen, guys. I just wanted to come in and I'll stick around for a little bit, but I'm really exhausted. But I wanted.
You look tired, brother.
Yeah, I've been. I took Mondays off for all of January, and I think I paid for it. I'm a bit tired, and I wanted, but yet I feel horrible. But I had to take care of something for family.
Oh, he got that
Friday.
covered.
Huh?
No. You stop that.
No, let me tell you though, this COVID stuff is Mom's fine. First off, Mom doesn't have it, but we had a scare that we thought Am's wife had it. My best friend of 40 years, he's still fighting it. Friends of ours, husband and wife and daughter, they have it, and it's a little too close to home, if you know what I mean.
Mike, do they all have some kind of comorbidities?
What?
Do they all have other health issues?
One has, yes, he does have, he has, does he have, I know he has some kind of medical issues, but the other two, no. And especially one of them, matter of fact, it's one, the girl that I talk about, my niece, Emily, I talk about, she's the one that has it. And she's 28.
I was telling Ted, the girl that Eleanor caught it from, her coworker, Eleanor's 67. Mm-hmm. The girl that she caught it from is 30. She got it so bad she had to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. and she was okay after. But Eleanor's was nowhere near as bad. So, and why did the 30-year-old get it? Because she has a bunch of health issues.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Eleanor doesn't have those.
Right. Well,
Big house, you're absolutely right about that.
If anything, Emily works at Amazon, so she's like physically working, like physical
labor. And at Amazon, there's a lot of close together. We have Amazon
I know.
about 10 minutes from me. So
yeah. So, but I wanted to come on, and I saw you got the phone, and I want to hear about it. I want to at least make an appearance.
We haven't even talked about it because I haven't had enough. I got it last night. I went to work today. I haven't really done anything with it yet. I'll be doing it over the weekend.
Okay. I mean, you got it yesterday?
Got it yesterday when I got it from work. But since I was editing a video the rest of the night on Wednesday night, I never even got to open the box until last night.
Oh, okay.
Because normally I work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Next week it changes. I start working Monday, Thursday, Friday.
Mike was listening in and wanted no part of George's rant. What else? I'm just looking through the comments. So, what else is going on, guys? I mean, you got the phone. Ted, what do you got? Did you get anything?
Nigel has a brand new Google Samsung Fold. Yep, he got it day before yesterday.
Oh yeah, over a weekend.
Oh yeah, he got the Galaxy Z Fold 2. Nice.
Yep. See, Nigel, I'm your good press agent.
Yeah, I know. And Nigel hit me up on Instagram and share messages and show me some of his goods.
Yeah, he showed me too.
You get some.
He always shows me. He always shows Eleanor.
Yeah. So, but no, I'll quickly say a week with the OnePlus Nord. And it's very nice. It's
been putting up some nice pictures. You put up some pictures tonight, right?
Yeah, on Instagram and Twitter, and that was straight out. Just walk out my front door at work because I always the sunset over there and really caught some color. I'm like, let me try this out. And
last night you put up the moonshot.
Yeah, and when the moonshot was on my Pixel, the moonshot was with the Pixel. So. But yeah, it's a nice phone. It's definitely it's creeping up there to be a recommended phone for people who are looking to to change needs a phone. For $299, it isn't bad. I such a busy week. I'm going to work on trying to make a video on these.
But a question, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Here's how I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the Nord may be a pretty good phone. But if I'm going to recommend somebody spend $299, I'm going to say spend $350 and get a Pixel 4. Wouldn't that make more sense?
I'm having this conversation with another family member, and she wants expandable storage.
Oh, well, that's different.
Right.
Yeah, that's good though.
And she's not a fan of the cloud. And
that's a good deciding issue. That makes sense.
Right. But right now I see a lot of talk, people talking about on Metro. Metro's got some kind of deal going on. So yes, I would. Yes, without a doubt, a Pixel though too. But some people want the ability to walk into a carrier and get the phone, and don't want to mess with going online and ordering it.
You can walk into Best Buy and buy a Pixel.
That you can do, yep.
Yeah, you can.
And you can get it with any carrier you want.
Yeah, well, yeah, they offer that. And that's the area that's true. That's true.
The one issue I have, and I understand your family member who puts the expandable storage. That makes some sense to me. But the issue I have when people say that they don't like the cloud, I'll bet you like the cloud when you starting a new phone and all your stuff just Zoom is in there from the cloud. Because you're not going to do that with an SD card.
I'm trying to break it into them like it's going to be the thing, and they got to understand what's going on with the, that's going to be the new service going forward. You know what I mean? That's something that they're going to be these phone or mostly Google and
Right.
and Apple capitalizing on offering services for like that. And
Exactly.
they give you a little.
And I have to say, I am spoiled for the last, because of the amount of phones we buy. For the last 2 years, I'm spoiled. It used to be, I had to get some stuff from backup and blah blah. Nowadays, just like last night, I turned on this phone. I told it I wanted to pull it from the cloud. Bam! It was done in like a half an hour. It used to take 3 or 4 hours to do that crap.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's the good thing about backing up to the cloud.
Do you?
But it's a different cloud. That's the cloud like Google just provides as a service from the Play Store.
For the
I
phone,
agree.
the initial startup, but going
And
beyond.
anybody who has an Android phone can use that. That's true.
Yeah. But going beyond, like just saving photos or using Google Drive, that's a different part.
But now they're lumping the pictures and your email and anything on the drive as part of account against your storage.
Yeah.
Starting June 1st. Yep.
Yeah, and eventually, I got a million emails just on my.
Well, the problem is in the emails, Mike. It's the stuff with attachments or pictures on them.
Yeah.
That's gonna count.
I thought it was the emails too. I knew the attachments, even though somebody sends an attachment, that kind of thing. But I thought it was the actual email themselves.
But you know what they're banking on? They're banking on in the future, everybody is going to sell it to you rather than give it to you. Because otherwise it's not going to work. If somebody's willing to give it to you, then they're not going to win. But if everybody goes to selling it to you, then sure.
Selling what?
Selling you the storage.
We're talking about Google storage. Only Google's going to be selling.
Well, no.
What I'm saying is I'm banking on the fact they're banking on everybody else. You're not going to be able to get it free. And like right now, Google can make me pay, but I still have free on Amazon because of my Prime, and I can back up all the amount I want.
Oh,
they're banking on Amazon changing that too, and they're banking on everybody else changing that.
George, is that Amazon just photos only?
yeah.
No, I have all my music backed up on Amazon too.
Okay.
That's
a different service. That's Prime Music. Prime Music lets you back up your.
But all this stuff, I get all stuff free because of being a Prime member.
Mm-hmm. But I didn't know any kind of. I guess you store all your videos or when you take footage and all.
No. What I do is with both Google and Amazon. Once I put up my my video. I don't need it there anymore. I delete them off both of those. I keep probably about 2 years worth on my computer. The rest I put on a flash drive.
I got it over there. Yeah, I keep on buying these Western Digital terabyte or 2 terabyte, and I just put everything on there. I'm weird. I'm afraid if I delete it and then all of a sudden go, I made that video 2 years ago. I wonder.
I've gotten so I put it on SSD because you can put a ton of stuff there and you can keep it forever.
Yeah.
What? Come on.
It's just it's also preference too. You're talking about the Pixel. Yes, I mean that was.
See what Gary is saying. That's right, and that's what Google's counting on because Dropbox used to be free.
Yeah.
No, Dropbox was never free.
It was free to store.
I think they tease you and gave you a little bit to.
Yeah, Dropbox will give you like 48 gigabytes for the first 2 years when you were just starting out. That's I remember. Yeah, they offered that with the Galaxy. They started doing that for the Galaxy Note 2.
Okay, I know it was a long time ago. Okay.
I was like the only person who was using that in my family when my mom got the new Note 2, and basically it was 2 years worth of photos I ended up deleting for no reason, which I regret to this day.
I used it until they started telling me, well, you're gonna have to pay for this much. I stopped using them completely then.
Yeah, I'm with Big House too. I don't take advantage. I don't take advantage of what Prime has to offer.
I put everything on both of those.
I tried Prime Music, what was the free version, but then I would go and look for certain music and would say, "Oh, you want to listen to this? You just got to join."
And that is true.
You have to join the Pro version. Yeah, there's 2 tiers of Prime Music.
But
the reason it works for me, the only thing I do, I back up all my own personal music on Prime Music. Mm-hmm. But if I want to, I have in the other room, I probably have 700 or 800 albums. and I never use them because if I really want to listen to music, I go on YouTube and I play the song. That's what I do.
Joe, you don't have Premiere, the YouTube Premium?
No. You know me, I hate to pay for anything month to month, so I don't.
Let's see. What I was doing before
I'm basically
Google,
cheap at heart.
awesome. What I was doing before Google Photos became a thing, I would just only use phones that have micro SD card slots, and then when I fill that micro SD card slot, I would back the storage down onto an external, and then I'll take out the micro SD card slot and then put in a new one in, so that it's backed up to 2 places. And I'm gonna have to start doing that again.
But I think SSDs make it a lot easier than carrying around all these SD cards, don't you think?
Yeah, but so I have to always. But then I'm only going to have one slot.
Computer, you have to transfer it to the computer and then put it on an SSD.
So it's only going to be on one spot, whereas with the micro SD card slot, there's 2 places the storage is.
Oh yeah, I'm just thinking they're so small and they're much. I would think harder to keep track of, especially if you're not using them for a long time. Am I wrong?
No, you're right. Unless you label them, yeah, it would be harder if you just have it jumbled up.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Mike.
I was going to say I see Big House's comment, and I pay for Prime. You pay for Prime. I would think you would pay for Prime, don't you? Because you got all that stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't take advantage of.
I'm with Big House. I'm with Big House all the way on that.
Yeah, I don't take the free shipping. It helps. You know what I mean. You get priority versus the non-member,
and you also get discounts. I mean, like.
And you get told if they're being discounted.
Tomorrow morning, I'm buying 2 products that Elma had before. Well, since we got divorced, she doesn't have Prime, and I do. So I buy it for her, and then
Ellen, are you still here? You can add it to your family pack, right? And then she'll just get the perks whenever you have it, George.
Oh, she watches all the Prime stuff. Yeah, she has my sign-in on Prime. But she forgets to use it.
I mean, she could still use it with her own, like she could use your Prime with like her own email and stuff. So you don't have to.
Yeah, exactly. What she used to do, but somehow she lost how to do it. So I just do it for her now.
So wait a minute. This might be news to me. Ted, you're telling me there's a family version of Prime?
Yeah, you can add basically have a family on Prime where you just share your benefits with somebody else.
Isn't it up to like 4 people or 6 people or something?
Yes, I think it's up to 4 people.
Okay.
Is it extra to add people?
Nope.
No, it's the same. It's the same price.
Oh, okay. Well, then I just learned something new today.
There you go.
So what's the topic?
So you know what we're doing, Mike, right? We're priming you.
Anyway. George, real quick, the Ultra.
Ted, that is not true. I have no control over that. It's quite the reverse. At least when we were married, quite the reverse. Okay, sorry, Mike.
That's okay. Does it have what's the messaging app? Is it true that they went with Android messaging on their?
I put the messaging. Yes, I think. Let me double check.
I actually got to hold that phone, and I have to say, it's not all that in a bag of chips.
No, they still have their own. No, it came up with Samsung messages first.
Samsung messaging,
but of course, I immediately switched to Google.
Mm-hmm. I have to say, the Samsung Galaxy S21, it does not really feel. What is it? It's $699, right? Or is it $799?
$799 for that one.
Yeah.
So you had the S21 in your hand? And
at Best Buy tonight. I have to say, the iPhone 12, just the standard model, feels a whole lot better at $699 than it does the Galaxy S21.
Really?
Yeah, the Ultra feels good in the hand, but it's seriously heavy.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for my case. I babied it all day today because I took it to work, but I've got UAG cases coming Monday, and Carl sent me some cases today.
Yeah, and what about a screen protector? Did it come with one?
I I never, ever use screen protectors. Ever.
Does it come with the earbuds?
No.
Yes. If you pre-ordered, yeah, I got those $200 earbuds for nothing.
I meant the free ones, so no. The
No,
8K,
the
no.
wired ones.
Yeah, the wired ones.
No,
Oh,
I don't know.
no.
Last year you had to ask for it. You had to like write to customer service or something. I heard.
Jesus
Right,
Christ, we're
right.
just at this point we're just supposed to be grateful that you just give us a box.
Yeah,
at
but
this
when
point.
I was surprised when they asked for it. They said yeah. So it's still something, I guess.
Yeah.
It's something, I guess. Look at you, just happy with whatever they give you,
Ultra
George.
is one to get.
I'm not very demanding. Sorry.
At least you got the whole bunch of stuff with your pre-order, though.
That's true. And when I got my invoice right after I did my pre-order,
Yeah.
all of a sudden it popped up and said you saved 1,000 such and such and such, and I stopped and thought about it, and then I started adding them up, and they were right. I did save over $1,000 because of trading in the $700 phone.
Right.
And that's what pretty much Samsung just wants people to do. Just keep trading in. We just
Trading in, getting it.
Yeah. At this point,
Yeah,
we're just leasing our phones. We're not.
If I love this thing as much as I think, they are not going to get me to trade in this, but they could get me to trade in the iPhone 11 next year.
Wait a
Because
minute,
I still have
an iPhone?
I still have my iPhone 11 and my 12 Pro.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh look,
So
he's
I'm
already.
thinking next
Got
year
this
will be the
iPhone?
time to trade my iPhone 11. I might not get as much for it, but I want to keep my best phone.
Again, at $699, this is way better than the Galaxy. It feels way better than the Galaxy S21.
And
I have no doubts.
Yeah,
By
I
the
gotta
way,
believe that's true.
George, the micro, the SIM card slot. What's it made out of on your phone on the Galaxy S21?
What's it made out of?
Yeah, is it metal?
What do you? What was your question? Wait a minute, you lost me.
I
The
I
SIM-
don't even look at that, but my memory is telling me metal, but I'm not sure.
The SIM
Yeah,
tray.
I'm not gonna,
Yeah,
I'm
the
not
SIM
gonna
tray.
open up
The SIM tray is
yet.
going to probably be plastic because that's one of their Achilles heel. You know that.
My mind is telling me last night, and this was like
My
30,
the
but I had
one,
to-
yeah,
the
this,
iPhone, and the iPhones come out. All of them are metal.
yeah, the SIM tray on my LG G8X, that's plastic, and it annoys me. Luckily, on the V60, that was metal.
okay.
Actually,
But
no,
SIM
the
tray,
V60
most
was plastic as
of
well. V60 was plastic as well. That was, but it was a better plastic.
My brother had a G7, or still has a G7, and he always, and it is hard. That G7 is very hard to put back in. You almost feel like you're going to break it.
Yeah, you're always gonna break
Well,
it.
actually, I think he did break it. Remember, I think of
Yes, he did. You're right. Yeah,
and he got it. We got another one, and LG wouldn't warranty it.
right.
I remember going on a Twitter rant.
But I
That is-
remember the LG G6 was hard to get in and out too, as far as I
Yeah,
remember.
I can't stand a premium phone or a phone that's above $600 with a non-metal SIM tray. That's
Non-metal SIM
ridiculous.
tray. You would think,
Okay.
yes. I agree.
That's why I give good kudos there to Apple. They know what they do when they construct a
Yeah,
phone at least.
Does that your iPhone have a SIM card in it? Is that your primary right now?
No, it's actually just my secondary phone, but I just use it for Google Voice, and if I have to take any pictures and whatnot.
Now, right now, my 12 Pro
This
is my
phone.
primary, but as soon as my cases come, the Galaxy will become the primary, the iPhone will become the secondary, and the Pixel's still the third
I
phone.
can't keep up. You're always rotating. 1 minute I got you on blue bubbles.
Mike, when you
I got you on blue bubbles.
When you get to be at my age, there's no greater fun than confusing young people.
Yeah.
But isn't it nice for to be called young people when Ted is sitting there?
Yeah. I think
What's
Ted's
this?
under me. Ted, you're under you under 50.
Yeah, actually. Good guy.
Yeah, he is the youngster. in the group.
Under 40?
Under 40? Yes, I'm under 40.
I thought so.
Jeez.
I thought so.
Let's see. Bad News Brown. So back to our story. So, besides all the craziness happening on Wall Street, Reddit, Congress, and whatnot, and whatever the nothing that's happening with Carl Pay's company, we had some good old-fashioned announcement. The smaller of the announcement is, let me switch up my camera for this. Boom. This needs to be a button.
What's that?
Yeah, button it up, will you, Ted?
Oh, he's changing camera angles. He's getting fancy on us.
So
He's gotten into this lately.
Yeah, really.
So 2 days ago, Fujifilm, my camera manufacturer of choice, released 2 new cameras and a whole bunch of new lenses. It was let me just go ahead and just see. You guys, I know you guys probably don't care, you're in the audience, but it was the Fujifilm Gfx 100S, which is a medium format, 100 megapixel camera, and it costs only.
What? Is that $6,000?
That's what it is.
That's right. $6,000. 100 megapixel.
Where do you see the story that's coming?
Holy
Where do you see the story that's coming?
So, but yeah, also, but guys, it's a 100 megapixel medium format camera. So, bigger sensor than a full frame camera for $6,000. And then there is also an 80 millimeter 1.7 lens for that GFX camera for the low price of $3,000. And then was the Fujifilm Xe4, which is like a really nice small portable camera that you can switch the lens. That was about $800. I wasn't really impressed. And then they refreshed the a pancake lens, which the 27 millimeter 2.8, and they added weather resistance so you can take it out in the rain. And then they just added another zoom lens, the 70 to 300, which.
Okay, explain to us know-nothings what a pancake lens is.
It's like a lens. It's like the lens on your camera, but just
okay, I got you.
Yeah, but it's just like the shape of a pancake. It's just really flat. It's really you can make your camera fit in your pocket.
Okay. So the lens is flat, but it doesn't distort the picture if it's how flat it is.
No.
You pull it out when you're going to use it, right, Ted?
Well, I mean, yeah, you pull it out when you're going to use it. No, you don't pull it out. It's a pancake. The shape is just there. It doesn't get big or anything.
Okay. So
it's a prime lens.
Okay. So we already talked about prime.
Yeah, but and there was also a new firmware updates for the 3 existing cameras, the XT3, the X Pro 3, and the X100V. And then they also announced a new nostalgic negative film simulation. Unfortunately, this really doesn't mean anything for my existing camera, the Xh1.
Yeah, what is the nostalgic? What is
it's a film simulation. How other cameras and photos and apps, they give you like filters. Well, Fujifilm, because they shoot with a unique sensor, the X-Trans sensor, they're able to do a custom look that you can't really replicate easily. So this one is called it's called a film simulation because it's supposed to emulate an actual film like back in the day.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it was actually a whole lot of nothing for me personally because I don't see myself buying any of this stuff. But a lot of people are very interested in this new medium format camera. For 100 megapixels at $6,000 to them sounds like a deal. Before this, the Fujifilm, hold on, let me zoom it, make it bigger. Before this GFX 100S was the GFX 100, which is $10,000. So that would also make people excited for this camera. That's only $6,000.
$10,000.
Think about this, Mike. We live in a world where when I'm shopping for cameras, when I see $600-800, that's no big deal because that's cameras.
Wow.
This is not supposed to be yours.
So Ted, this $6,000 camera, is it? I guess it's for the pros.
Yeah, people that are going to use it to make money. I've seen enthusiasts, people who shoot hobbies that have the $10,000 camera, but
wow.
but you're going to see a lot of people with this with this $6,000 media format camera, just for the sake of
When I go
for
past the
landscapes.
thing, there's a spot in the park where I see maybe sometimes the other day I saw maybe 10 photographers in that spot. And I'm sure some of them have $4,000, $5,000 cameras, and they're probably just enthusiasts. You know, I'm not gonna have one, but good for them.
So Ted, what's your Fuji? I know that's Fuji's your thing. What kind of camera you have? And is it below $1,000?
Hold up. Sorry, Google's playing some ridiculous music. Yeah, I have the Fujifilm Xh1 that I'm using right now, which came out in 2016. And when it came out, it was around $2,300, but they started discontinuing it in 2019 or 2018. And they were selling it for $1,000, which was a hell of a steal.
Mm-hmm.
So I was hoping they would talk about the upgrade for you Xh1, an upgrade, but they still haven't. They haven't said whether they're going to fully discontinue the XH line, which this camera belongs to.
So the camera I'm looking at right now is on the Fuji.
Yeah.
Okay. And is that the one? That's what you use to do your videos when you do videos too?
Yeah, some of my videos. Sometimes I use the iPhone. Sometimes I use the Fujifilm. The thumbnail is with the Fujifilm.
In his videos when he uses the Fuji, right, Ted?
Yeah, but this thumbnail is from the. Ooh, now just talking about a Leica. I saw the Leica M9 and that was $20,000. Yeah, Leicas are expensive.
£20,000, which what does that equal? Must
That's
be a
like,
lot of
$20,000.
No, it's not 2-to-1 anymore. 40,000. I think it's now 40. It's like 38,000.
Okay,
wow.
Yeah, I know it's worth more than 20,000.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's just a camera. The lenses would. Ooh, you can add another.
Yeah, without the lenses.
Yeah. I think like the cheapest Leica lens, the good ones are like 5,000. That's
another world.
But it's crazy though. It's crazy. You think like cameras are so expensive, but you can, as high as cameras get, like microphones and stuff also get that high as well.
That's true. Even when I was in bands, I don't think I ever spent more than a few hundred for microphones, but I've known people who spent thousands on microphones.
All right, you just changed cameras. Now, what are you on now?
This is my MacBook.
Oh, okay. Just a wider view for sure.
All right.
A lot wider.
I don't want the next story, but I want the one after that.
Okay, so then that's up to you, Mike. He just threw you under the bus.
Okay.
Is it Xperia 2021?
Right.
Hey, you want to cast it, Mike? George?
Yeah, I got it. It's ready to go. Oh no, I'm sorry, I didn't share it yet. Wait a second.
Yeah, Gary.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Gary. Yeah.
$20,000. No meek boys allowed.
Oh! What a shot! All right,
I got you.
All right, you ready?
Okay.
All right.
My.
This is from Tech Times. Isn't that a British Tech Times? Is that a British company? I come and look. All right, it's me. Xperia Compact 2021 Sony Mini flagship comeback at just 5.5 inches. I got to ask you, I saw a lot of chatter over this. Is this really happening?
It's a rumor.
Well, they're talking. Remember, this article is about.
Okay. There was actually a familiar time when when phablets were still viewed with a lot of suspicion or ridicule, this was when some smartphone makers would decide to launch the smaller version of certain premium flagships. Samsung had its own Galaxy Mini, while Sony had its very own Xperia Compact. According to the story reported by SlashGear, these larger screens, however, These larger screens, however, then became the actual norm, and those smaller premium phones started to vanish until now. It remains to seen when the trend will continue start to reverse. Like everything else, we went from glass to plastic. Now we're going to get smaller phones into that direction and pave the way for a new Xperia compact awaiting return. In the past, certain smartphone makers had argued that people actually wanted bigger and bigger screens. However, the truth of the matter slowly revealed that this was not entirely true. Today, however, there has also been quite a pushback against the earlier trend with smartphone makers starting to bring back smaller size phones. The mini flagship phones, the iPhone SE and the iPhone Mini.
Mike, we've been jumping around, so you can jump around if you want to. Just let me know where you are.
Okay. Well, I'm on the SE.
Okay.
The pushing the ABCs, especially seen with companies like Apple, has been launched. It has, as it had launched with the iPhone SE as well as the iPhone 12 mini. For years, Sony has reportedly believing to be trying to revive the Xperia compact, with an article by /Gear suggesting now might be the perfect time. According to reports on Leaks, the Xperia compact won't really be a compact. However, the upcoming smartphone is. I have to laugh. I'm looking at what it's saying here, and I realize, okay, so we got a 6.5-inch phone. Now now 5.5 is now the
exactly.
norm. It's like, no, that's
exactly that.
That's
why my title for the article.
What's that, George? You broke up.
See, it is him. I told him.
He's stuck in mid-speech. Look! Now he's sucking on water. It ain't going to water. Ain't going to help, George.
Yeah, but
you're frozen.
Yeah, but this is all on Ted's wiring to do with me.
So no, I mean, look at this. Look at this. This is a small phone.
What is that? Is that the SE2?
SE2.
Exactly.
That's a small phone, and it is nice. I will admit, I'm not an iPhone guy that much, but I do admit I like them when I flop it in my pocket and go, and don't feel like I'm carrying, a boom box in me. You know what I mean?
A boom box.
Boom box, yeah. Anyway, let me go back to the article.
And they're right. There are people who like the smaller phones because the guy who runs Android Central, he loves the smaller phones.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm just happy it's going to be a small phone, but it's supposed to come with the headphone jack, so that's a plus.
I'll just finish up here. Part of believing the reason for this new bulk is due to the presence of certain thick bezels all around it. All around, the Xperia compact now seems to be borrowing a lot of its own design details coming from other older Sony phones. These include details like the phone's rear camera that actually seem to be flush, flat, straight against the glass back of the giving phone. Fortunately, this would mean some staples of the past, like the popular 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, will be also present. It just basically goes on. Some people do not always bring a bag. What? Some people do not always bring a bag, and some flagship phones barely fit in a pocket. Okay, this is why some people prefer smaller phones as opposed to the big ones. However, this is not the only reason why small phones do have its preferred customers. There. I think it's going to be great. I would love to see this side-mounted fingerprint sensor come back on it. So,
yeah, I like bigger screens, but people who want smaller phones should be able to get a hold of one, I think. But you're right, Mike. 5.5 inches now a small phone.
Right, and that talk about the Pixel earlier, the Pixel 4a, the 4a. What really comes to mind? People talked about one of the positives is the actual size of the phone.
Look at the Pixel 4a next to the S21.
Now the 4a looks a little wider but shorter. You know what I mean? It's
not really. I don't think it's really wide. Oh, I have a case on it.
Yeah, it has a case on it, but it looks really small though, like it's square.
What the Pixel does.
It is small compared to. It's even small compared to the iPhone. Yeah.
I mean,
the iPhone 12 Pro.
Look, here's the Pixel 3, and the iPhone. I mean,
the Pixel 3 is gigantic next.
Well, I can look at the case it's in.
Well, yeah, it's a big case.
Yeah,
it's really a chunky case. It's smaller, and that's what I like the Pixel 3 too. I love
the color on that case, by the way, Mike. When you
it is a good color.
Yeah,
it's a good color.
I bought a deep brand skin. Took 2 tries. This is the second try.
Right.
And I'm like going, yes, I got my Panda. Like I want, So I can't admit I carry the iPhone SE in my shirt pocket. Yes. You know what, Big House? And funny he says that. Here, I'll show you.
What's funny, I carry any of these phones in my shirt pocket.
I don't know if you see that video on there. It says it's a Vonage app. And now this Vonage app is my we want to internet web-based phone system. So this freed me up from being at my desk or having to run back to my desk to go get a phone call. And funny, he said it. Sure enough, this is what I got the button. My work shirt, boop, like that, and that's where it is. It's the truth.
Hey, Mike, you're allowed to unbutton the button,
No. If I unbutton it, I know what happens, and then I forget the button, and they curl up. It's just I'm trying to keep it down. Anyway, my work shirt.
This reminds me of that South Park episode with Comcast. I don't know if you saw it.
No.
Now, see, it reminded me of Monk.
Oh.
All right. Let me see if I can.
All right, so let me do a soft intro for you. Boom, there you go. Nigel, this have you seen the Xperia Pro phone?
It's $2,500. No.
Yeah.
Yes. Didn't you see MKBHD's?
No, I didn't see that.
No, I saw Juan's video.
Oh, he did a great.
I saw Juan's, Mr. Mobile's. They all covered it before MKBHD.
Yeah, I just thought his was very, very well done, and he showed how you put it together in the whole bit. And I'm like, and I'm watching it, and I'm saying, boy, that is seriously cumbersome.
Yeah. Look at it. We're infinity.
Yep, and beyond. Look at all of that. All right, George, what are you doing?
All right.
Oh, you got it.
I've got it shared.
Yeah, I shared your screen.
Okay. All right, we ready?
No, we're not.
Why? It's right here.
Look at what you're sharing, George.
Oh, wait a minute. This has been happening tonight. I don't know why. Let me try again.
To
infinity and beyond.
Okay, no, I hit the wrong side. Okay. All right, now try it.
Damn, look at that.
All right, we're back to the Verge again. All right, Sony's creator-focused Xperia Pro Horizon, the U.S. priced at $2,499. The company's first phone to support 5G in the U.S. The Xperia Pro, Sony's first smartphone with 5G in the U.S., is launching today for $2,499.99. That penny means everything. They can't say $3,000. Sony is targeting the device at professional users who it hopes will use its HDMI input to turn the phone into an external camera monitor and its 5G connectivity to quickly upload or live stream footage. Sony says it currently has no plans to release the Xperia Pro in Europe. Outside of its HDMI input and US 5G support, the Xperia Pro's hardware is very similar to last year's Xperia 1 which shipped with 5G support in Europe but was limited to 4G LTE in the US.
Yep.
It means it's powered by a Snapdragon 865 processor, 4,000 milliamp battery, and around the back there are the same 12 megapixel wide telephoto and ultra wide cameras. The Xperia Pro also includes a tall 6.5 inch 21.9 aspect ratio OLED display, which Sony is once again describing as 4K, but actually has a sub 4K resolution of 3840 by 1644. Yeah, that's not 4K. I love the picture though.
Still the highest resolution phone than any other manufacturer does.
Not 4K. It's not 2100. Okay, at $1,200, the Xperia 1 was already an expensive smartphone, and the Xperia Pro is over double its price. But Sony argues that its 5G support and HDMI input could be incredibly useful to professional users. Let's start with the HDMI port, which is located on the bottom of the phone with the Xperia 1's USB-C port. The Xperia Pro's USB-C port is still on the bottom of the device, but it's shifted to the left. Sony says it's capable of taking up to a 4K 60 FPS HDR video stream and should work with any cameras that have HDMI.
Hold on. Yeah, any cameras.
And MKBHD did show that off. It just looked extremely cumbersome to do. He said he wouldn't do it either. In practice, what this means is that you can connect the Xperia Pro to a camera's HDMI output, for example, and use its bigger screen to get a clearer view of what's being filmed or photographed. You can pinch to zoom into the image displayed on the screen or overlay grid lines to help with framing. But MKBHD said once it was hooked up like that, you didn't have touch control anymore on the screen. I remember him saying that.
I don't know, but none of them didn't say, that they all got phones with, pre-release software because they didn't have the retail units, which I'm surprised nobody mentioned.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I didn't hear him mention that. Where this functionality gets especially interesting is with the Xperia Pro's 5G connectivity, which enables it to act like a live streaming link for your camera in addition to being an external monitor. He did show that off. The Xperia Pro can stream footage from its HDMI input to YouTube directly, and it supports Streamlabs and StreamYard for streaming to other platforms like Twitch and Facebook Live. Yes, he did say all of that. The phone supports both sub-6 gigahertz and mmWave 5G, and Sony claims that it has a unique 4-way mmWave antenna array to maximize reception. Well, yeah, if you're going to use mmWave, you better maximize reception. There's also a built-in network visualizer app that can be assigned to its shortcut key to help you find the best position to get a signal. Hopefully, Sony's software and hardware are enough to mitigate mmWave's problems with limited coverage. I don't think anything's going to help that with millimeter wave. Ever since it started teasing the Xperia Pro early last year, Sony has emphasized that it's a device for professional users, and its $3,000 price tag makes this move more obvious than ever. When I asked Sony why it hasn't released a 5G device aimed at consumers in the US, it's now to be more broad, focusing on users who thinks it can get more use out of it.
Because the US is a mess.
Well, I only half buy that they're waiting to be more broadly implemented by carriers, because if you have T-Mobile, you can get 5G just about anywhere in this country at this point. But with the others, it's much more spotty. So what that tells me is Sony doesn't think they'd sell to many T-Mobile customers. That's my guess.
They're basically just saying the US isn't worth the headache for putting the necessary 5G antennas.
Yeah, like I said, I think T-Mobile's the only one that has decent coverage, and nobody has millimeter wave. But as I told you months ago, I think millimeter wave is going to be a failure, and I think it'll stay a failure because I don't think.
It's actually the first Pro, the first phone that deserves the term Pro, where we know it's just for professionals.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
It is. And MKBHD gave it all its kudos and all its profession. And he did say it does what it says, and he showed it all off. But he said he wouldn't buy it because it's a pain in the butt to put all that together the way that, And he showed it together.
I mean, let's say if without the phone, you would also have to do a live broadcast without the phone, you would have to buy the transmitter, which is $1,500. You would also have to buy an encoder to, transform the signal from the camera. Yeah, which is another $1,500, like to $2,000.
Right.
And then you need a monitor, which is, people like, which everyone likes Ninja. Ninja monitors are like $2,000 to $3,000.
Right.
Unless you want to go like with a nice budget one that doesn't give you all the options, like you find one for about $800-900. And then you need a battery to run all of. Then you need like a battery to run all that stuff.
Yeah.
So people, because you have to power the monitor and the transmitter. Okay. So the phone can do all that, and with its own battery can last 2 hours. If you're worried about battery life, you can just buy any conventional battery pack that we all have and just keep it in your pocket.
So basically, you're saying this is really for production companies who are willing to spend probably a minimum of $10,000 to make this thing work all the time.
Well, no, but they don't have to. They just have to spend $2,500.
Yes, but with all the other stuff you just mentioned, you add it all together, you're talking thousands of dollars.
Yeah, or you can just do the phone that does those three things.
Okay.
The phone does the three things.
Really, but if you wanted to broadcast live, then you got to buy all this other stuff, right?
No, you either get all that other stuff or you get the Sony Xperia Pro.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
The phone does the three things.
Yeah.
Whereas, or you can just use the three things to do what that phone does and then have to worry about the power supply. Right.
Oh, Big House is saying he has Metro by T-Mobile. He has 5G showing on the screen. My speeds are crap. Now, of course, I don't have Metro. I have regular T-Mobile. My speeds are always faster than 4G, both in Miami and in Chattanooga. And now I have 4 5G phones. So,
what was actually interesting was that I actually really like the aesthetic of the Pro, the Xperia Pro. They gave it the same body like they do their actual camera, so it's like rubbery. It's actually like a plastic feel.
Okay. Yeah, and see, you would notice that much more than me and Mike would, I think.
But yeah, they also got rid of the camera hump. But yeah, $2,500. I think they earned the cake for legitimately most expensive phone.
Yeah.
Without the whole caviar nonsense that.
Yeah, I think MKBHD said this is the most expensive phone you can buy at the moment, period. It is almost 5 minutes to 10. Do you want to skip down to the glowing rectangles?
No, I'll do the last story.
All right. This on you. Wait, I'm pulling it up now. Let's see if I can share the right screen this time.
No, I got it, George. It's all right.
You got it. Well, I've got it shared in case you want to follow along. Okay, yours.
All right, so the last story of the day, Sony, besides releasing and announcing a $2,500 camera, phone, they also unveiled what did I do? They also unveiled the Sony Alpha One, a 50 megapixel, 30 frames a second, 8K video camera for, you see that price tag, Mike?
Yes, excuse me.
$6,500, which is $500 more than the medium format camera Fujifilm announced.
Exactly.
But the interesting thing about this one, this is Sony's newest flagship camera, and apparently it does what other camera has never done before. So,
what a cookie breakfast or something?
A camera that combines all of Sony's top technologies. Hold on. A camera that combines all of Sony's top technologies into one body, creating a 50 megapixel camera that can capture stills at up to 30 frames a second. You know what that means, guys?
That is impressive.
That's right. It can capture actual still photographs in the same rate that, cameras shoot movies.
Right.
And
with 8K video.
As well as 8K video.
Yeah.
The Sony Alpha One is a combination and condensation of all of Sony's most advanced technologies into one body. It features a new 50 megapixel full-frame excimer RS CMOS sensor in combination with an upgraded Bion's XR imaging processing engine with 8 times more processing power than the Bion's X processor.
Now, is the Bion's X supposed to be a really good one or what?
It's the one that was in the A7 III that everybody loves.
Okay.
It can shoot up to 30 frames per second, the fastest shooting speed ever, blackout free, while also combined with Sony's autofocus technology, enables up to 120 autofocus calculations per second, which is double the speed of the A9 II. That was Sony's previous flagship camera.
Right.
Let's see, and look at it. Look at this, the body. To be honest, no one has ever really cared about how the body of a Sony camera looks, but moving on.
You know it's a Sony when you see it. If it didn't have a label on it, you know it's a Sony body.
That's true.
I can recognize that where the hand grip is.
And so can I. And the back, even from the back, you can see it's a Sony camera.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Big House is like, that's a fine used car. I don't know about fine. My car was $6,000 that I just bought. A Honda CR-V, by the way.
Aren't you? And you're satisfied with your car, aren't you?
I am.
Okay, then I think Big House was right. That's a fine used car.
Yeah.
I'm satisfied for now until something has to happen.
But now, pardon me.
The 50 megapixel sensor is capable of 15 stops of dynamic range and does not sacrifice any previously expected ISO performance. Even with the sensor's high megapixel count, the Alpha One offers high sensitivity with low noise, plus 15 stops of dynamic range, and 15 stops for stills for smooth, natural gradations from shadows to highlights. Additionally, the Alpha One...
What does it mean, high sensitivity?
What's it? Where do you see that? The ISO sensitivity range?
No. The first, in the quotes, the first sentence where it says offers high sensitivity with low noise.
High sensitivity means that, when you turn up the ISO, when you do that, you risk, increasing the noise that's in the...
Okay, that's what I was... Okay.
Yeah. So the more you increase the ISO, the more sensitive you're making the photo. Okay. And, the more you're going to have noise. But this is saying that, you can crank up the ISO, high, and you'll get... Noise. It won't be so noisy still.
Okay, gotcha.
Additionally, the Alpha One features a massive resolution OLED finder, 64 type, 9.44 million dots.
Really?
And an OLED quad XGA electronic viewfinder with the world's first refresh rate of 200 frames a second.
You can kind of see where this cost came from.
It also features a silent vibration-free electronic shutter that features the world's first anti-flicker shooting with both mechanical and electronic shutter. That's impressive.
Yeah, because the flicker can be a pain in the butt sometimes. That's true.
Additionally, the Alpha One is capable of electronic shutter flashing. This is also impressive, of 200 up to 1/200 seconds. Previously, you could not. No camera is able to shoot flash with the electronic shutter. So the fact that they can do 1/200 all of a sudden when it was never been able to done before is pretty impressive.
So it costs a lot because they obviously spent a lot of money coming up with this stuff.
Yeah, and also it's also able to do things that no other camera has ever been able to do before.
Yeah, they really try to stick themselves out like unique. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're separating themselves from everybody else.
Yeah, usually, and also they also do this thing, where they're not scared to try to do everything in one body, whereas Canon will just like, all right, we're going to do some of it here in this body, and then we're going to do some of the rest in another camera body, and they'll deliberately tweak a feature to make it less performing.
So they take less chances in general, in other words.
But not that they take less chances. They just don't want. Canon makes doubly sure that they make a camera that does it all. They're gonna say, if you want a camera for stills, okay, this camera is good for stills. Oh, you want a camera that does videos well? Well, then you have to buy this other camera that does video well.
Right.
Oh, you want a camera that does both video and photos well? Well, then here's this camera, but it doesn't do either one very well. So take what you gotta pick your poison with Canon.
Right.
So with this one 1/400 with a mechanical shutter, which extends up to 0.05 of a second, which is very impressive considering all of the cameras shoot 1/250 when you're shooting flash. So the Alpha One also.
Good. Finish your thing. I'll say it later.
Oh, the Alpha One features 759 autofocus points, which covers 92% of the sensor, which exceeds what was done on the A9 series. It also offers real-time eye autofocus for birds and other animals, and offers real-time tracking that has been improved for more reliable tracking and can be done closed down at f/22 on the aperture. Sony also mentions that the Alpha One is a professional movie camera, as it is capable of 8K video recording at up to 30 frames per second, at a first in the Alpha line. Its 8K video is captured by oversampling 8.6K down to 8K. That is impressive. So they're definitely giving you 8K. They actually, they give you a lot.
They're giving you real 8K, you're saying.
Yeah. Additionally, it can shoot up to 4K 120 frames per second and 10-bit 422 all-A compression oversampled. A higher quality 4K is also available in Super 35 mode. The Alpha also supports S-Cinetone, which is also a first for an Alpha line camera, which delivers cinema colors as well as 10-bit S-Log3. And the camera also has high log gamma, which is HDR on cameras. As expected, the A1, I guess they meant to say, supports 5-axis in-body stabilization for 5.5 stops of stabilization and a heat dissipating structure for extended recording. 30 minutes limit for 4K 60 or 8K. It can also support export 16-bit RAW over HDMI.
That's a nice long time for 30 minutes and for 60 and 4K and 8K.
Yeah, but I think they did it to reduce heat because I think the GH5, which came out in 2018, that can do 4K 60 with no recording limit.
Yeah.
The Alpha A1 has 2 media slots that can support UHS-1 and UHS-2 SD card slots, as well as a new CFX Express Type A cards for overall capacity and faster read-write speeds. It has longer battery life with a Z battery, which can be extended using the vertical grip sold separately, improved dust removal, shutter close function, it includes a reliable HDMI Type A connector, a USB power delivery support, allowing, we know what that does. And it will be available in March very soon for $6,500.
And is there a pre-order that you get free earbuds with it too?
Yeah, right.
I was thinking that for the pre-order, they should at least, include a discount for the Xperia Pro or something. But bear in mind, guys, if you buy the Xperia Pro and this camera, that will run you $9,000 for the whole thing, for a phone and a camera.
You just made me reading the article, and you said how you pick your poison with Canon. And you made me realize why for all these years. And I'm talking 2 very old cameras, but I have a Canon, which cost more than my Sony, which is also very old. But what do I always end up filming with? The Sony, because the Canon does some things okay and other things not so okay, but the Sony always does it right. So I use the Sony.
So all your videos, you're using a Sony camera?
Yes, all my videos that I do in the house, yes. Yeah, sometimes I'll pull out my Canon. I even have a Lumix but the Sony just makes it easy for me, so I keep using it. You know, and the Lumix is much newer, but with the Lumix, it doesn't have a direct HDMI in. Which I didn't notice when I bought it.
I didn't know you used that. I thought you were using phones to shoot your videos.
I haven't shot a video in the house with a phone in 4 years, maybe.
What? You mean for these recordings?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were just using your face cam or something.
No, I do everything.
Or webcam.
And before I had the Sony, I used the Canon. So I haven't yet. So it's been probably 5 years since I started the channel. I never really used phones hardly at all to film anything in the house ever.
That's I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So
I have 3 cameras sitting there, and I always pick up the same one, which is the cheaper of all 3.
And you know what? If it's working for you, right?
Exactly.
You know?
Which Sony do you have, George?
It's very old. The one that used to be popular, the cheap one that used to be popular with all YouTubers.
The A6000?
No, older.
A5100?
Older.
Yeah, okay. I don't really know.
Okay.
Or was it the next? Was it the next line? NEX line?
This is going. Hey, Ted. This is going back to when we had flip phones. How's that?
Oh, okay.
I thought he was going to say the cave days or something.
I was trying to be nice.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you've made it this far. Ooh,
see Nigel's comment that you just put up? I keep thinking in my head, it would be nice to get a Z flip phone at some point. The Fold 2 doesn't fascinate me the way the Z Flip does. I don't know why. But I can see myself at some point getting a Z Flip.
Let's see. Well, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations. You've made it to the end of the video.
Gary, that's a good one, Gary. I like that one. The Moses
one.
I like that.
Ladies and gentlemen,
10 o'clock.
We bring you the end of the show. Please subscribe to the All Glowing Rectangle subreddit. It's a subreddit that is populated by humans for humans in the tech space. You okay? You okay, Mike?
But it may be replaced with AI at some point. Oh, Mike's big.
Mike, what's up? What are you doing, Mike?
I don't know. I'm just looking.
Only Ted can do that. You can do it.
So, on the Glowing Rectangle subreddit, the subreddit was all about promoting small creators and
what are you saying was?
But the purpose and the motivations of the Glowing Rectangle subreddit grew to just share whatever interesting tech news that helps foster good tech conversations to be shared. Also, it's also a really good, reliable way to share stuff from smaller communities, because otherwise YouTube will never show you. You will never see a smaller creator, even though his content is good, just show up on your autoplay or recommendation list.
Right.
Case in point, we have this newcomer here, which I did not know about. Let me see if I can play some of his stuff. A long-time lurker, Alt Dad, starting his channel today. Let's go check out his channel. Let's see if it's worth a damn.
Okay.
Alt Dad Tech.
Boom. All right. Let me just do this so I can avoid the copyright strike.
Okay.
Boom. Come on. Switch. There we go. Let's see. All right, I'm going to remove my mic, guys, so you might hear some feedback for a bit.
Okay.
Thumbnail or clickbait title? Let's get into this. Welcome to Alt Dad Tech, where we're going to talk about, well, really, I'm going to let you guys decide. I'm obviously going to talk about popular topics and things that interest me, but I want to see what you guys want to talk about. And simultaneously, I know that there's a million tech channels out there. What am I going to do different? I have no idea, but we're gonna see, right? And I want to have more of an engagement with you guys. You know, the real popular YouTubers, I don't really see as much of an interaction with their audience as I would like to see and have. And listen, I know, you know, it's tough to do that when you have, you know, 1 million or 500,000, even 100,000 subs. It's probably hard to do, right? But I want to talk about tech differently, and obviously that's going to translate into my videos as I release them. But really, I want to get to know you guys. Are you guys similar to me? Do you guys want to have deeper conversations about different topics, some not so fun to talk about? Obviously, gadgets are always fun to talk about, but I want to do things a little different here, and I want to get with you guys and see really what interests you and what would you guys do differently.
So yeah, that's all that tech.
I think it was very honest of him to say, "What am I going to do different?" I don't know. I thought that was very honest.
That's what
For some reason, he kind of reminded me of Mike.
Really?
Yeah, you.
Yeah.
I didn't get.
I don't hold nothing back anymore.
But obviously, you know, his first attempt, you know, he's got all the stuff. He's got the Shure mic on his mouth. Is that the SM7B?
I know the hardware there.
He's got the Shure headphones, and then he's got the nice lighting with the sprinkler sparklies, and then I don't know what's up with his camera though. I think he's probably using a Panasonic because that camera would not focus on his face.
Okay. You know, I have two Shure mics that I used to use in a band, and I keep thinking I should probably use one of those, but I like this mic too much.
You're using a mic, George? I thought you were using those earbuds.
For a microphone?
Yeah.
No, I use my my Blue Yeti.
You have a Yeti?
Yes.
The Yeti's been here 2 years at least.
Ah.
Yep. Huh. Whenever you hear me live, I'm on the Yeti.
Let's see. Oh, he has 2 subscribers, so I'm just going to go ahead and subscribe. And why don't you guys go ahead and subscribe to Outtech? I have
this. Where's the link?
Yeah, I'm putting the link now in the comments, guys.
Right. I want to too.
And he's right about the big tech, because I can remember back in the days when MKBHD had about 5,000 subscribers. He used to answer a lot of comments.
Really?
But he and Lou are not going to. It's hard to answer comments when you've got 12 and 16 million subscribers.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not going to hold it against the guy.
Exactly.
Hold it against them.
Remember when Erica Griffin was hitting 30 and 40,000 subscribers? She was always saying in videos like, "I can't answer everything." You know.
All right, let's be his first comment. What should be our first comment, guys? What camera are you using? It sucks.
Okay. I was going to say, you should make a comment about the camera. Yeah.
Get the Sony Alpha One. Post.
Shows you how we are. And I know you don't mean it in any bad way.
Get the Sony Alpha One.
A comment on somebody's video and say it sucks. I just could not do that.
All right, yeah, right. So I just gotta say, get the Sony Alpha One camera. It's really good.
Okay.
And
you know me, I'm always big into trying to look for other people's feelings. You know. Unless, of course, I'm in a fight, then it's different.
But yeah, I'm interested to see what content he's gonna put out. What's his second content video is gonna be?
Okay.
Second video, he also got 9 upvotes. So second video.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good, 9 upvotes. Right?
Yes, it is. And then second video today was by Tech PhD, where he unboxes the iPhone 12 3 months later. That's a nice thumbnail. But yeah, that's it, guys. Them's the stories. I hope you guys had a good.
Let me real quick before we go. How'd you find him? I mean, how did he get there?
I don't know.
Somebody put him in the Reddit. Anybody can put a video in.
You know, he probably shared his own. He probably shared his own story.
Well, it shows you who put it there, right?
Yeah, it's probably him. It's him because he says feedback, please. I'm like. Well, I gave him his feedback.
Mom always puts hers there.
Yeah.
Ted puts mine there sometimes.
I put yours there all the time.
Oh, okay. Well, keep it up.
But yeah, he asked for feedback, and I told him, I gave him his feedback. He should get a $6,500 camera.
You're right. All right, now the big question of the night, guys. Mike, are you going to take it next week or me?
Let's do for you for now. I'm sorry, unless something changes.
Okay. All right. So
I know better that I know I can definitely do it. If you don't mind, do you mind?
I don't mind. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy doing it.
Okay. If I can do it though, would you mind letting me do it if I come back to you like by
Oh,
Wednesday?
no, of course not. No, never. I don't care.
Dude,
just
take my toys home.
Just let me know by say Wednesday morning.
Okay.
Because once I have to go through all the work of making the website, well, all the stories are picked, and then I got to, I don't want to have to do the website twice in 1 week for 2 different sets of stories.
Good practice.
That's a good point.
I need to practice.
All right.
I got home tonight, and because of the S21 and stuff, and being I was up till midnight 2 nights in a row with this stuff, with my video the night before, and then this. I got home from work today, and I got the website up with the pictures and everything in about 35 minutes.
Ooh.
So.
Wow.
All right, guys. Thanks for everybody for coming in. Ted did a good job. You got to see me as the comedy relief when Ted started and he was getting his tea. So at least I'm good for filling. And when he says talk amongst yourselves, he means the old guy and you people.
It was really great enjoying my cake with you guys. I got to enjoy my cake and eat it.
You should have seen him. He was having his velvet cake and wouldn't share any. Eleanor wanted some. Who else wanted some? Renz wanted some.
Renz is probably gone to sleep.
He just kept eating in the camera.
I gotta do some work.
How dare he?
Well, you guys have a good night, and we'll catch you all next week on George's channel, right?
Yep, more boogies are next week.
Renz has a question for you, Mike.
Am I okay? Yeah, I'm just real busy at work. And hopefully, maybe, I don't know. I wanted to do something last week, and I had to bail on George for
Renz, Mike has become Mr. Overtime.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm okay. Tired. I'm gonna probably leave here and say goodnight and go to bed.
So Renz, there's a balance. Mike runs his own department, meaning he's a big shot, but he also does all the work in his department. So it balances out.
Yeah. So I have to yell when the parts get put away. I got to yell at myself. Okay.
I was just going to say, do you chew yourself out?
Right, I got to yell at me. You know what I mean?
Okay.
No,
G.
well, hold on.